On this week's 2-minute tip, growing more than just vegetables in your garden. So in most of our videos, we always talk about growing your own food. Well, let's talk about something that can complement that food or that can help you grow more food. Cut flowers. So we always like to plant a couple rows of cut flowers in our garden along with our vegetables. And these cut flowers are going to provide us several different benefits, the main one being pollinators. So for crops that require insect pollination like squash or cucumbers or melons and stuff like that, bringing in extra pollinators or attracting those pollinators with these pretty flowers is going to increase our vegetable production. There's two different varieties of cut flowers that we like to grow in our garden: zinnias and sunflowers. For zinnias, we like to grow the binary giant variety, and you can get these in many different colors, but we always just get the color mix. And then for sunflowers, we really like the pro cut varieties. So let's talk about how we plant these cut flowers. Now, zinnia seed is kind of papery in nature and kind of oddly shaped, so it doesn't really work well in a walk behind planter like our garden cedar. So we have to plant those zinnia seeds by hand. Now in the past, sometimes we do start these in the greenhouse and transplant them, which works well. But in the middle of the summer like it is now, I'll just direct seed them by hand. So I'll take the drip tape layer attachment on the double wheel hoe and lay me a line of drip tape. And then when you lay that tape, it creates two little small furrows on both sides of the tape. And as you've heard from other videos I've done, I like to plant things on double rows when possible. So I'll plant a row on each side of that drip tape in those little mini furrows there, and just walk along there and scatter the seed in that furrow. Doesn't have to be very exact. The plant spacing is not that important. And then for the sunflowers, we can plant those with the garden cedar. So what I'll do is I'll take our number 3 seed plate here, and I'll drill out these holes just a little larger. These stock holes are designed for okra seed. Sunflower seed's a little bigger than that, so we'll make those holes a little larger so we can plant those with the garden cedar. So for the sunflowers, it's just a one-time harvest. But for the zinnias, those things will keep growing and growing up until your first frost, which for us is usually the end of November, beginning of December. So if you're not already doing so, grow some cut flowers in your garden every year. It's going to bring in those pollinators to get you some bountiful harvests, and you might even make somebody smile with a nice bouquet of pretty flowers. I hope you enjoyed this week's 2-minute tip. We'll see you next week.